Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ask Coach V. So excited, as always, to be here with you guys, to bring you guys some value, some power, strategy, and tactics. And I'm here with the brilliant Coach Ivon. Hello, Coach.
Hey, Coach, and hey, everyone. Yeah, welcome to another episode. It's going to be a great one. If you don't know, this is the show where we do exactly what the title says. We ask Coach V. I go out there and I see what agents are talking about, the questions they're asking, the challenges they're facing, and I bring them here to a veteran agent, veteran coach. If you guys don't know, Coach V has been that seven-figure team leader selling 100 plus homes per year, and then she's been that fantastic top coach coaching the top agents in the nation. And I've been working with her for, I think we're pushing almost 6-7 years now together in our coaching company, helping agents all over the country. So guys, trust me, we have a great perspective to bring on these questions. So we find these questions out there that agents are facing and we have a conversation about them. We really kind of dig deep and look at them, and we always talk about great stuff, right, Coach?
Oh, wonderful. And it's such an honor and pleasure to work with you and bring a lot of clarity and power to this wonderful industry. So you guys don't have to make the mistakes that I made or many other agents are doing. So you can elevate your game fast, help a lot of people, earn the income that you want and the life that you want. So Coach V is ready. So let's go, Coach Yvonne.
All right, let's do it. So I have two great questions for us today, and they're both pretty different. One is a little more on working in the business. The other one maybe more on working on the business, a little more high level. Let's start with this first one. And the reason I like this one is because the person asked the question and immediately got two completely opposite comments. So I'm even going to include those as part of our discussion. So let me go ahead and put it up here. Can you guys see that? Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and read off exactly how it is. So this question says, does cold calling work for new real estate agents? Okay. Now here's the best part, and this is why I chose this one. I liked it the most. I blocked out their names and pictures here just so we don't have to put anyone out there. But the very first response was, it works best to reach out to people in your sphere daily. I don't appreciate strangers knocking at my door or calling me, so I refuse to do it to others. And now the very next response was, absolutely. I've taken 2 listings this month alone from cold calling. So I thought, you know what? We have a good question. We have 2 different answers. This sounds like the perfect thing to bring to Ask Coach V. So Coach V, I'll ask you, does cold calling work for new real estate agents? And then part 2 is really, can you talk a little bit about the difference of opinion that we see here?
So cool. And you chose such a good one because, yeah, two different perspective, right? So let me go right to the point, right to the money. Yes, it works. It not only works for many of my clients, guess what? It worked for me, brand new agent. So let's first of all, what is a cold call? A cold call is a circle calling, right? Coach Yvonne is talking to someone you don't know, right?
Exactly, right? You're calling, regardless of how you got the number, you're calling someone who doesn't know who you are and you don't know who they are.
Exactly. Actually, many people even think, oh, expired call is a cold call. When they say cold call, what are you doing? Expired. It is. It is a cold call because the person has no idea who you are. There's no connection, no rapport, no trust,
Right, right. There's a lot of
yeah.
different ways of cold calling, right? We can call, like you said, expireds or for sale by owners. We can also just call in a neighborhood, or we can call, groups of
Exactly.
people. Anything can be cold calling.
So let me explain to you. When I first started, my first market was Central Valley. My TAM, totally addressable market, was from El Grove all the way to Modesto. So I sold low diamond ticket stock to the whole Central Valley. I didn't know anybody. I was brand new in the business. I had 2 kids under 6 years old. I had no moolah, no money, nothing. I had to do what I need to do to build my database, to be out there. So right away, all of you listening here, every lead source is a great lead source if you have the right approach, with the right mindset and the right skills. So immediately, because I was reading books and I was watching, pay attention what the other people are doing, even my first 3 years, I didn't have a coach for my first 3 years. So I was doing a lot of stuff by energy enthusiasm and what I was reading. And I knew I needed to build a database. I was new. I maybe knew 30 people. So immediately I was doing open house, 3 a week. I was doing networking to meet people. And then, of course, I did both. I did uh, dropping flyers and some door knocking in my neighborhood to meet people and see who needed. And I cold call. Tuesday and Thursday between 4:30 and 6:30, I hit the phone. And I use the script. We just listed a home around your neighborhood. It's a great home. It's just hit the market. By any chance, who do you know that would like to be your neighbor? I just listed. I got so many. One of my best client, Coach Ivon, one of my best client who was a very rich millionaire guy, he became one of my best clients, and it was from a cold call. He was renting a condo in Lincoln Village West. He was separating, getting a divorce. He was living in the condo. I called him on a Thursday evening, and I had a conversation with him. Millionaire, super savvy, super smart. We had a conversation. We met. I helped him to buy another property, and later he gave me a lot of his clients that for his company, all his employees and his big company to be my clients. So it works. And I'll tell you one more. And then my second market, Coach, when I went to the luxury area of Palo Alto, Los Altos, the Peninsula and the Bay Area, I did circle calling as well. And I did one, I have a buy for your home script. I set an appointment, we got a listing from it, so it works.
So guys, I think there's the short answer, right? Yes, it does work. It works if you have the right approach, the right script, the right skills, which ultimately is, if we can reduce all of those questions that we see all the time, is this lead source good? Does this thing work? Or what about open houses? What about this? All of them work if you work them correctly. So let's just say this. Let's address the disparate opinions here that we're getting, because yeah, a lot of people feel very strongly about certain lead sources, right? I see people that say, oh, online leads are terrible. I'll never touch online leads. Or people that say cold calling is the worst. I wouldn't want to be cold called, so don't cold call someone else. But we have so many stories like yours, like the other person that commented, that it worked for them and it's currently working. So how do we kind of bridge this gap between these two people? One person saying, just call your sphere because I don't want to be cold called, and the other person saying, yes, it works. Why do we see such a difference in opinion like that?
I appreciate it. Well, because first of all, it's your paradigm, right? Your beliefs, right? Your paradigm is your mental recording, what you tell, the belief you tell yourself over and over. So some of you don't like cold approach. Some of you are never going to do door knocking. Some of you guys never going to cold call or circle call. Some of you guys never going to buy leads because you rather do business with people that you know, warm, and that's okay. That's your motto. That means you got to definitely, and by the way, all of us have to do this all the time, no matter what. You got to work on your book of business and your most important one, your database, past clients, sphere of influence, and your CRM. So some of you just want to do database, CRM, lead source, open house lead source, and maybe network lead source. So you have face-to-face and you create that connection, that warm. That's okay. Or maybe farming, because then after a while, the farm knows you and you're not cold anymore. That's okay. This is why we teach all the models. I have people that come to me and say, Coach, I am not going to door knock ever. I'm not going to cold call. Good for you. I have people that come to me and said, I want to do expired. Some people said, I'll never do expired. So the important thing you ask yourself, what do I want?
Yeah, and I think that's really good, right? Because this is someone who's commenting saying, it's not for me. So, but hey, the question isn't, is it for you? The question is, does it work? And the question is, yeah, it works. Because look, everyone has different, modalities, different ways of communication. Some people hate texting and like talking on the phone. Some people don't like talking on the phone and love texting, right? So it all depends on what you do. Now, I think that something that's really important to bring up here is people are maybe looking at, this question like in a vacuum. Guys, cold calling is never going to be your only type of business, right? The person saying, no, just call people in your sphere. You don't have to cold call. I wouldn't want to be cold calling, so don't do it. The reality is that, yes, your sphere, your database, your connections, your past clients, your friends, your family, people actually know you, you've done business with before. Of course, that is your main lead source. But we have to grow that somehow, right? And we're going to grow that by doing other lead sources, open houses, online leads, networking, and yes, cold calling, right? We need to have ways to talk to new people. Like Coach V said, there's a million lead sources out there, a million different models out there. You don't have to do all of them, but we do need to have some influx of new people and new connections to feed that database. Otherwise, you're always going to be very limited waiting for a repeat and referral to come to you.
Exactly. And it's like my training I did, the free training I did with you guys, when I tell the story that my friend went shark fishing with a friend. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning in the dark, and the friend opened the trunk of the car as you know, as they're getting ready to go fishing for shark, and he brings out for fishing rod. And my friend said, "Hey, who else is coming for fishing?" He goes, "No, it's only the two of us." He goes, "Well, if it's two of us, how come you have four fishing rods?" He goes, "Just wait and you see." And they go to the beach, and he puts four fishing rods out. And they sit there on the dock, having fun talking for 3 hours. And finally, one fishing rod caught a shark. And they were all excited and happy. And this is just like we're talking about here, Coach Ivon, in marketing business. Some days, once you go fishing, you go put your marketing out there, you put a lot of marketing tools, fishing rods out there, but only one gets the fish. Some days, none get the fish. Some days, all get the fish. So you got to have enough listing trees, buy a tree. So you shake them every day, right? That's another analogy. And you want to have diversification. If you want more
Exactly.
stabilization, have diversification. I know I'm coaching already, but I get excited about this. I say this to you guys. Just between my database, repeat and refer, right? Past clients, sphere of influence, my farm, I had at least 70 listings per year. Yeah, I build that, but I also build my business with networking, with also open house. And I love circle calling too, because when you're going to have to do it, you're going to call your farm and give them an update. You're going to have to follow up. What happens if someone reach out to you online and interested in your listing? That's a cold call. You're not going to call the person? You know, my coach always tell me, if you don't want to follow up, if you don't want to call people, get out of real estate, because real estate is a conversation. So the question is, why do I feel so uncomfortable? Why do I feel so bad about it? Maybe I need to get a little more versatility and learn the different skills so I can talk to strangers as well, with elegance, with skills, with empathy and knowledge and grace, right, coach?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, ultimately, every lead source we have is about getting in front of someone that needs our services, right?
Yeah.
And cold calling is just one more way to do that.
Yeah.
So if you're uncomfortable with it, don't do it. But at the same time, recognize that that's not the only option. You can also improve, you can learn, you can step out of your comfort zone, and you can do it because it does work. And we have agents
Yeah.
doing it right now. So
And coach, one more thing. Can I challenge you guys here? I encourage you to challenge yourself and put yourself on another level. If you feel so uncomfortable about door knocking or calling a stranger, practice for 3 months. Master the skill. Can you imagine if you can call a stranger and have a nice, elegant, grace conversation? What you can do with your database? Oh my God, everything becomes so easier when you challenge yourself. Be courageous, be brave, talk to strangers. Why not?
exactly, exactly. All right. So I think we answered this question. The answer is it works if you do it well. It works if you do it correctly. And in
Yeah,
response to the comment saying just call your sphere, it's not just one
that's
or the
you.
other. It's both, right? We want to grow our database, always stay in contact with our database, but there's a million different ways that we can grow it, and cold calling is just one of those ways. So
Exactly.
awesome. Guys, I'll say right just one more thing before we move to the next question. Let's remove like the all the emotional attachment and value judgment to the different lead sources, because I'm telling you, people are saying, "Oh, I hate this. I would never do this. I want someone to do this." There's people out there right now that are getting phone calls and going, "I'm so glad you called because I
Yeah.
really needed this and I was overwhelmed and I didn't know where to search and where to look, but I actually needed your help." And that's really what it's all about. It's about connecting with someone that needs your help.
Coach, one more thing, because you just made me think about something. Everyone, please pay attention. Look, yes, your self-talk is going to push you, tell you excuses and stories. And the people too, listen, I had mojo. I called my farm, I circle call around just listed, I circle call around, I have a buyer for your home. I circle call for over 14, 15 years. One time I called, the agent answered. It was so funny. You know what she said to me? "Aren't you embarrassing for calling people, bother people? Don't call me anymore. I'm an agent." You know what I said? "Oh, you an agent? Oh, good for you. Don't worry about, darling. I won't call you anymore. But just so you know, it works. I got a 2 listings this month from calling wonderful people like you, or maybe not. Talk to you later." So don't buy into people having a bad day. Just say goodbye. Thank you very much. Bye. And you go next.
All right, let's go next and go to our next question. So this next question is a little different. but I think it's an interesting one. And whatever side of the equation you might be on, I think it's something that you can benefit from. So I'll go ahead and show it up here. So this question was posted by an anonymous member of a Facebook group, and the question was, team leaders, what consequences do you give your agents who don't do the basics or the required things? And then they went on to write a lot more about, oh, do you take their leads away, or do you do this, or do you do that? Or basically they want to know, we have people on the team who aren't performing. What should I do? How do I give them consequences? What's the best course of action? So if you're watching this video, you might be a solo agent thinking about making a team and worried about the headache and asking yourself questions like this. You might be a team leader who is actively dealing with questions like this, or you might be on a team and thinking about your place on that team and how you perform and how you fit in. So I think everyone can benefit from this discussion. So Coach V, how should team leaders, enforce performance on their team, and what consequences should there be?
I love this question. And by the way, I just want to clarify, if you have one transaction coordinator that you pay per transaction, you have a team. Okay, anyone. So you have different kind of teams, different models, but everyone have a team. And if you should have a TC and you should have some virtual assistants. So anyway, have a team always outperform an individual. So let's go here. First of all, I want to share with you a concept that you need to understand as an entrepreneur and as a team leader. There's a difference between a boss and a leader. A boss is pushing, intimidating, enforcing, and forceful, and threatening. So I don't know what kind of consequence you have in your mind, but you don't want to be a boss. You want to be a leader. A leader pull people. They don't push. A leader leads by example, by inspiration, by positive accountability. And a leader sets standards. A leader sets the mission and sets the minimum standard, and everybody follow through because they want to. And the leader have also the boundaries. So right away, I tell you, I was a team leader. And I built a lot of teams, some of the most successful teams in the whole country, teams doing 300 million in volume. So I know this business inside out. So first of all, the best thing to have a team is create a culture and hire the people in the beginning, the people that want to be there, the people that are hungry, ambitious, they are willing to work, heroes, not victims, and they have the growth mindset, right? Growth mindset. And they also have the work ethics. They're not lazy and they are smart. So when you have the right person in the bus and you coach them and you train them for a month and a half, because everyone that comes to your team, you train, then you already set the standard with them. Here's our mission. Here's our core value. Here's our rules, minimum standard. Everybody shows up for the meeting. So you set the standard. They know exactly what you expect to do, what you expect to do. And then if they start falling apart, first time they fall apart, because you have the cadence of accountability. Every week you meet with them for 20 minutes where you go over the wins, the numbers, what they need. You give them the love, the support, the accountability. When they're falling apart, number one, you have a meeting with them and you ask them what happened. It's about helping them. Makes sense.
I think that's the shift, right? So the first time that you have an issue, let's sit down and figure out, why are we having issues? Not sit down to put the fear of God in them and to, punish them. First, let's figure out why this is happening and how we can help them to do better. Because
Exactly.
if you put the effort in to hire someone and you're putting the effort in to train them and they're on the team, that person, ideally, if you're following the advice that Coach V just talked about, is someone worth keeping, right? So
Yeah.
look, sometimes we hire the wrong person, we figure out that we made a mistake and that person needs to get out, and we can remove that person. But initially, we're still in the mindset of, okay, how can I empower this person to perform? So, okay, we have that first talk, Coach. You try to figure out what's going on, what's not happening. And let's say that this person still isn't with it, still isn't keeping up to the minimum requirements and standards. Where do you go from there as far as consequences
I
go?
love it. So first of all, in that meeting, the first meeting, you go over what happened, why he's falling apart, what can you help? You touch the motivation, right? That's why you got to know the why of your people, what moves them. And then you ask them for recommit and re-engage and follow the minimum standard of the team. And you tell them, listen, we're going to put you on probation nicely, with elegance, with grace, because you told us, and because if you don't do it, how can I expect everybody else to do it? Because one person can destroy the whole team culture if you allow the person go rogue. So no rogues, no divas. So you set the boundaries again. First, of all, make about them. Maybe they had a problem. Maybe, you know, who knows? But make about them. Have them to re-engage, recommit to the systems, and you're going to meet them anyways every week. And then if they keep doing, you decide if it's something really, really bad, and you can tell this person is completely out of the culture, let it go right away. You fire fast. You hire slow, you fire fast. Not too slow. You still hire relatively fast, but you fire fast because that person, one bad apple can spoil the whole thing. But the consequence, yeah, if the person just having the not committing, maybe you can say, hey, listen, by the way, about leads, I want to address that. In my team, the person that converts the most get more leads. It's not a round robin. Who converts the most get more leads. So if you, Coach Ivon, are converting a lot, you're going to get the lead. Now, it gets to a point that you can only deal with 5 or 6 hot buyers at the same time. After that, I give to the second one. But I'm always award and give more who the person who converts the most who follow the culture.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And I also want to say that, look, if you're already at the point where, because this person that asked the question was talking about, you know, taking away leads as consequences. If you're at the point where you are punishing them in that way, you're probably already, you're too late. You've missed those first steps of trying to get them recommitted. If now you're saying, well, you know what, next month you're getting 0 leads, all you're doing is hurting the team. You're hurting yourself, right? It doesn't make sense. So I would say this. These days, Coach, there's a lot of people that are doing this strategy of just, I'm just going to have a team. I'm going to take anyone who can come. I'm going to just like throw all this stuff on the wall, see what sticks. And if I have 15 agents on the team and, you know, 3 of them sell a home next month, whatever, it's a numbers game, right? There's a lot of people that are acting like that these days. And in that case, like, yeah, you're going to end up with people on the team that aren't performing. I would say this, focus on quality over quantity. You know, there are big teams that can work if you have the right structure and you bring in sales managers and you do all these things. But I want to make sure that if you're one of these people that is thinking, you know, I just want to bring a bunch of agents on my team, and if I have enough volume, I'm going to have enough sales and I won't have to worry so much. They can be mostly on their own. Like, that's when you're going to run into these situations where you have people that don't care, people that aren't showing up, because that's the model that they've been put into.
That's a horrible strategy. Do you want more stress? Yeah, now you want to have a daycare. All these people lost their no committed, no goals, no hunger, no drive, no, you know, you're crazy. Guys, listen, I've coached team with 5 people, with 10 people, with over 20 people. That's your model. You decide. I had a boutique team where just 4 in sales and we're doing over, you know, 18 to 20 transactions per month. But my point is, if you don't have standard, everything looks like an opportunity. You go and hire people. I talked to an agent one time. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. She was in a company right here in Beverly Hills, a company. I'm not going to say the name of the company. She hasn't sold a home in 2 years. And I was thinking as a team leader.
What are the agents on her team?
No, she hasn't sold
her personally.
Wow. She reached out to me to talk to me about coaching. She hasn't sold a home in 2 years. I'm saying, I'm honest. I'm honest. I was thinking in my heart is, why this sales manager is allowing someone to be in the company that hasn't sold in 2 years? She should have helped this person to sell homes right away, see if she could help her or not, or let a person go. Because you see, if you have a group, you have like bodies. We don't want to have bodies. We want to have a team. A group is different from a team. A team is producing, a team is growing, and you should have the goal that your team outproduce you. So you can
the team should be greater than the sum of its parts, right?
Exactly.
It's not just people sitting there. So guys, here's the short answer, right? The question was, you know, as a team leader, what consequences should you have for people that aren't doing the requirements and aren't performing? The answer is, you shouldn't be thinking about how can I punish this person. You should be thinking about how can I get them to perform? How can I meet with them? How can I engage them? How can I influence with them? And if that doesn't work, you should be getting them off the team and replacing them. Because if you're sitting there doing schoolyard BS and putting them on timeout and taking their leads away and making them sit in the corner, that's not someone that should be on your team.
Yeah, you don't lead by intimidation. You get way more by inspiration, respect, and admiration than you get by intimidation. Know your standard. Make sure the team knows what you stand for, what the minimum standard. Inspire them, know their why, move them every week, keep them engaged, inspired, and productive. Now, it's okay to have accountability. Doesn't mean you're going to intimidate it, but a positive accountability, a team that doesn't have competition, a team that doesn't have a positive accountability is a team that is dying, but it's not throwing them against them. No, it's, promoting who has set more appointments, get a prize, who get the highest amount of no this month so they can practice getting rejection, get surprise, creating that energy, the synergy, the beautiful culture, creating that. That's what our team is all about. I have a team. I loved having a team, and you can have a team, but you gotta know your minimum standards, the rules, what you're willing to take, have the clarity, hire the right person. Let me know. I can love to talk to you if you want to know what to do, how to hire a team, how to build a
Yeah,
team.
so guys, on that note,
It's
if you
wonderful.
like this, if you got some great value out of this, hit that like button. It helps us. Hit that subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, and share this with someone that you think can benefit from it, because we love doing these. We always cover great topics. Now, before we close out, let me just say this. If you're watching this and you're a team leader, please take this into account and change the way maybe that you're working with your team. And if you're watching this and you're on a team, take a look at your team. What is your team culture? How is your team leader helping you or hurting you? What are you getting out of your team? Because a lot of agents think, I just need to go somewhere and get leads. That's not the most important thing from a team. We want culture. We want mentorship. We want an environment that helps you grow.
Yeah, to learn, to teach, to, oh my God, this is beautiful, Coach. I love those questions today. Listen, everyone, everything can be easy, simple, and duplicable and scalable if you have the right mindset, the right strategy, the right mechanics. So learn this. Knowledge is power. I love that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our tribe and our community. Again, like Coach Ivon said, don't miss this. Subscribe here and know that we care for you, and we're always going to show up here with insights, power, and strategies for you. So thank you, Coach Yvonne, and I see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Coach. Bye, everyone.